David Camille treat today.
David Camille treat today.
Look at all the computers and shit we got.
I know. Those were my boobies.
Yeah, look at those boobs.
All right, so today.
Here, I'll move you guys so you can see. Tuning into the workouts. Oh, pause the connection. Put that fuck up for a little bit. You could move. It's okay to move.
Okay, yeah, David and Camille today. Today we're gonna start with our conditioning, and then we're gonna finish with some back work.
Oh, we're gonna start with the conditioning. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we talked about
Yeah,
this.
that's fine. We'll do that. We'll do that. You guys, we're gonna start with conditioning today.
We talked about this.
Good. Okay. Cool. Let's
So
rock.
today's conditioning is going to be some hang dumbbell snatch, some step up, and then if you can run, we're going to do a little bit of running. If you cannot run, we are going to do some toe tap. And if you have a bike, we're going to use that. So
Cool.
just plenty of options so you guys can do whatever you have at home for that. Oh boy. Mommy tired today.
I got it. You keep doing your thing.
Okay, so we're gonna start with just a warm up, like we do every day. And David is gonna come warm up with me. But first I was gonna grab right arm,
Right
press
arm.
it in front.
I don't need my grips right now. I can take those
I
off.
saw you putting them on, and I thought it
I thought we were starting with the lift. We're starting with the
thought
conditioning.
it was cute.
Okay. Something like lifting
Let's
while you're
go with
dripping
it.
with sweat.
Left. What did you?
So there's nothing like lifting while you're dripping with sweat.
We will be. It's hot.
Think about this conditioning like a good warm up.
Uh,
The conditioning will be a good warm up
sure.
for the lift.
All right, arms overhead. We're gonna get that tricep up. You can lean a little to get that lat going.
Today's back day, so stretch your lat out. Ugh.
And other side. That's like
Yeah, this side is really tight. Oh, this is the side.
You're so stinky.
You're so smelly. Get that armpit out of my face.
Let's go with some torso rotation. Please don't hit me. Don't hit your baby. All right, if you have a towel or a mat, pull it out because we're going to go down on our knees.
We're going down on you.
Going down, 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 down. The one
Let's
that's
put it
right
across.
behind you.
No, we go across. We
What
go
we're
across.
going to do cross with our legs.
Fine. There's something wrong with your toe.
Nice. All right, we're going to do a couple. So we're going to do a cow, cat, and then we're going to go down into a child pose. Okay? So
Okay.
arc, wrap, and now stretch your arm. And child pose. There you go.
I really feel this in the cow part of my body. Moo.
Extra point if you make it.
Moo.
Hey, my baby.
Yeah.
That's the one, right? You know?
Which one is the cat and which one is the cow?
Well, the cat is in,
Oh,
and
okay.
the cow is the boo.
Oh, yeah. The cows
See?
are constantly sticking their ass up in the air.
I know. I was literally thinking about that earlier.
They're such hoes.
All right. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do a push up into a down dog, and then we're gonna do what we call, I think it's a diver or something.
Okay, a Hindu push-up. You want to do a Hindu push-up?
It's a wee.
Yes, that's the one.
Hindu push up.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a push up into a down dog into an Hindu push up.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Do one rep so people can see.
So push up and then down dog, and then we're gonna go down and forward, and then we're gonna push up, down dog, and forward,
Push up.
and we're gonna do 5 of those. 2 more.
Oh, this is definitely after chest day. I'm feeling this, Camille. I like the one we got dive under. You make it sexy. It reminds me of Catherine.
Very sexy.
Do you remember the Catherine Zeta-Jones movie with the lasers? Where she's with her buttons in the air and everyone's like, oh, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones was hot.
Catherine Zeta-Jones was hot. All right, last thing we're gonna do.
It's called entrapment.
Entrapment. All right, last thing we're gonna do is just gonna go down on our back, do 10, cross over with our legs, then we're gonna warm up the movement, and we're gonna get going.
Okay, cool.
So just on our back.
Just on my back. I'm trying to find a place where I can't kick you.
I feel like
Okay, right here.
I'm kicking stuff anyway. Here, I'll go like this.
No. You can stay like you are. Actually, go in the house. Get this bike out of the way.
4.
Don't touch my legs.
7.
Do not touch my legs. Don't touch my legs.
So annoying. Whew. All right. So at home, grab your dumbbell. If you have dumbbell, if not, grab your backpack or grab your laundry detergent, whatever weight you can have, and then get a chair or go towards your couch or a chair.
Just walk towards your couch or chair.
Well, just put your setup next to your couch or chair.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with the hang dumbbell snatch. So we're gonna warm up. So I'm gonna grab a dumbbell. And what I want you guys to do here, we're gonna do 5 repetitions where I'm just going to bend my knee slightly, break at the hip, and just bring the dumbbell about knee height and just stand. So break at the knee, rotate around your hips, and stand.
I like this exercise.
3.
Hi.
And we're gonna do 2 more. 4. And 5. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're only going to do 3. We're going to do the same thing, but we're just going to add a quick shrug on that arm. All right? So down to the knee, stand up, and then shrug. Here we go. 2, and 1 more. 3, and now we're going to add after a high pull. So we're going to bring the elbow high and outside, and make sure your shoulder are pinned back and down. So for 3, rub. Here we go.
Don't touch me.
2, 3. And now lastly, we're just going to turn around and punch the object overhead. I'm so terrified. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go. We're going to do the same thing with the other arm, and that's our movement today. It wasn't breathing. Now, when we do this movement, something to really focus on at home is that we're bringing it down towards the shoulder, rotating the elbow, and coming back down. So the way up is very similar to the way down. So with the other arm, because we have 2 arms to warm up.
We just get 5 each arm? Or you want to go through the same thing again?
Same thing again.
Okay.
Yes. So we're going to do 5, just deadlift from the knee. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And here I'm really focusing on keeping my back arc. Now 3 with the shrug. 1, 2, 3. Now 3 with the high pull. 1, 2, 3. And now 3 with overhead all the way. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. So that's going to be our first movement today, just some hang snatch. Our second movement, we're going to grab our object. We're going to hold it right here on our torso, and we're just going to step up on an object. So here, I want you guys to give me 4 at home. So to each leg, we're just going to step up, switch leg at the top, go down, step up, down, step up, down, and step up. Good?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And last movement, I'm already out of breath.
You're pregnant.
I am pregnant.
I can demo. I'm a demo person.
Okay, so our last movement is going to be a 200-meter run, if you can do that. If you cannot do that, we're going to do some in-place toe tap. I showed you those the other day.
Yeah, you can do them. So
You said you were going to be my demo.
oh yeah. So you can just put something on the ground. Oops. There we go.
So
You're
anything
gonna
on the
tap
ground,
your toes.
and you're going to do 40. So 40 of those. If
40
you
each leg or 40 total?
40 each leg.
Okay, so 80 total.
So 80 total.
Okay.
Yes. So we're going to do 10 minutes AMRAP, so as many as you can. We're going to do 20 snatch, 21 arm snatch, so 10 each arm.
Okay.
10 step up total into a 200-meter run. So it should be 1 minute about of cardio, or about 1 minute of biking, which should be more around something like 500 meter. And we're going to keep going for 10 minutes. So if you have a partner, what me and Dave are going to do, because we both want to use the bike, is what we're going to do is one partner is going to be doing one round while the other one is on the bike.
Okay.
So I'm going to start and I'll do 20 snatch, 10 step up. And while I do that, I'm going to be doing the cardio section. So if at home you are 2-person and want to do a partner workout, that's what we're going to do today. If you're at home and you're your own partner, you're going to do 20 snatch, 10 step up into either 40 toe tap or 200-meter run.
Cool. All right, let's do
10
it.
minutes. So get your setup ready.
I get my dumbbell here.
I'm going to get the clock going soon, and I'm also going to grab something to drink.
Something to drink. The number one rule of exercise, pre-workout energy. Camille can't do pre-workout.
Hashtag
Too bad for her. Too bad for her, she can't.
There's no caffeine
Oh,
in it,
sorry.
but I feel
Sorry.
like if at least I'm drinking it in my Red Bull bottle, it gets me closer to my Red Bull that I miss.
Oh, at least it says Red Bull on it. Excuse me.
It still tastes better just because it says Red Bull on it. I think something just flew away.
The garbage can just fell, that's all. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. All right.
I'll move that.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. 20 snatch. 10 step up. And 1 minute of cardio of your choice. Oops, keep losing the connection here. Cardio of your choice. Here, I'll show you this. Yes, here we go. All right, I'm putting the timer on. Timer. And then we're gonna do some back work after that.
Bodybuilding back work, Camille. Man stuff.
Man stuff.
Guy
sure.
stuff. Getting big. All right, I'm ready. Presenting David Lipson, the fittest woman on earth.
All right, we're gonna start in 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Are you the fittest woman on there?
I am today. I'm going to make sure everyone knows it.
All right, we're gonna start in.
3.
I want them to see you bike too.
Yeah, it's very important that everyone watches me bike.
You
got that?
A little tighter together.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And do you want to give us a 5?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1, and go.
I'm already ahead of Camille. I'm already beating her. Nice, Cammy. This reminds me of that time when you were so fit.
So 20 snatch. And now me and Dave are going to switch.
Ah.
And Dave's going to do 20 and 10 while I back. Oh, Dave is going for 10 each arm at a time.
All day. Ah!
So we're going for 10 minutes, 20 snatch, 10 step up, a minute of running or biking ish. It's only 10 total, Dave.
Yep. Oh no. It's like,
I was like, this is taking a while.
oh no, my workout is so much harder than your workout. Crush it. Crush
You're
it.
the one that's up there listening today. Give me such a hard time today.
That was a good flush off of our leg day the other day. To get some blood in the legs.
And 20 to 10. Okay,
Crush it.
that's it. Here we go. Oh, I was going to see
That seat's too high.
so high. It was trying to set the couldn't. Here we go. Thanks, Dave.
I know.
You like that? You're back to being a CrossFitter.
I'm like so fit right now.
So
Good,
bad.
because I just started my 30-day shred.
All right, almost halfway. Only 10, Dave. We are exactly halfway now. 5 more minutes.
Done. Was my round faster than your round?
I don't think so. done. And we're gonna need people at home to let us know who's faster.
Yeah. You want to time that around?
They think he is. I don't think he is. Because I have little tiny short arms. We have about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Keep pushing. Stay fast on the run. Or the bike or the toe tap. Stay fast. We have a quarter left.
Yay.
That was pretty fast.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm so competitive.
Buddy.
Yeah. And done.
Camille's round was 3 seconds slower than mine.
It was not. I was like 10 seconds faster at least. At least. I changed my technique. 1 minute. 1 minute. Push all the way. Here we go. As fast as you can here. We're almost there. 30 seconds. $15. 10.
Whew. All the way through, Camille.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time.
Got those last couple meters.
That was my woo! Nice work,
Good.
everybody.
I feel hot.
I am hot.
Ready to train.
All right, let's take 1 or 2 minutes to like yourself, and then we're gonna start to do some back stuff
Bodybuilding back work.
with Dave and Camille.
Yeah. This will be good. So for you guys out there now, we're gonna do some hypertrophy work for your back, for your lats. Try to get you guys nice and thick and wide on your backside. So if you have a band, I'd probably recommend using it. If you have a pull-up bar, that's ideal. And if you don't, we're gonna give you lots of subs. We're gonna do some exercises for the upper lats with some vertical pulling. We're gonna do some exercises for the lower lats with some bent over row and RDL complexes. And then we're gonna do some single arm row work just to finish it all off with. So first thing, we're going to do is a pull-up complex. So what the pull-up is going to be, if you have a pull-up bar, is you're going to do 10 pull-ups with a 3-second negative. That means 3 seconds down. So you pull, 1, 2, 3, pull, 1, 2, 3. You're going to do that for 10 reps. Now, if you can't do that for 10 reps, that's totally fine. You can use some band assistance, or you can even do a jumping pull-up with the negative. That's really effective. What you're going to do is you're going to do those 10, then in some way you're going to lighten the load. So let's say I did my 10 strict, then I would go to band assisted, and I'm going to rep out reps to failure with band assistance. So that could look like anywhere going from like weighted to body weight. It could look like going from body weight to band assisted. It could look like going from band assisted to jumping pull-ups if you have the pull-up bar, okay? Now, if you don't have the pull-up bar, that's totally fine. I'm gonna show you a really easy setup you can use that Camille's gonna do for her sets, where she's gonna take a band and string a PVC pipe through the band right here. So I'll have Camille just come over here and show you. For this one, she's gonna move from a heavier band to a lighter band. So she's gonna perform her 10 reps with a 3-second negative. Come a little bit closer, Cam. A little bit closer to the machine. There you go. So it's more of a vertical pull. So she pulls 1, 2, 3. She does that for 10. Then after she's done with 10, I'm going to take this. Carefully, don't slingshot it. I'm going to put it through a lighter band, and she's going to just rep out to failure here. She's just going to get reps until she can't do reps anymore. Okay? Now, if you didn't have a PVC pipe to put through the band, you could just hold on to the band. And you could perform reps just holding on to the band just like this as you do vertical pulls coming down, okay? Now, if you don't have bands at all, what you can do, Cam's going to just sit here facing you guys. We showed you this yesterday, but this is going to be a manual, resisted pull-up where Cam's going to grab it wide, and I'm going to resist her down as she pulls in front of the body. Okay, you can go behind the neck, or you can go in front of the body.
Well, I can't.
Yeah.
You're going to hit my head.
Okay, so go behind your neck. There you go. Okay, so she's going to go 10 here, where I'm going to resist her really hard each rep.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just give her less resistance and let her rep to failure until she just can't do it anymore. Okay, so that's kind of modulating that resistance. Now, finally, if you had none of that available to you, and you're like, I don't have a band, I don't have a pull-up bar, I don't have a lat pull-down machine like you guys have, that's totally fine too. I'm going to show you another great substitute for a vertical pull, which is called a pull-over. And what you're going to do, you can do this anywhere where you can get your upper back across something like a bench, or even if this is done on the ground, you can do that totally fine. This is a vertical pull where you're going to perform a pullover, where you're going to bring the weight behind your head and then pull over to the top. So if you're going to do a drop set, you might do 10 really heavy reps here into lighter reps to failure, or you could even add a band resistance to the bell, and you could do 10 with band resistance against the bell, and then take the band off and then rep to failure. Okay, so there's got to be an option in there for you guys to be able to do, right? There's lots of options. So I'm gonna have Camille start first. So she's gonna start with her vertical pulls, and I'm just gonna be her spotter.
Let the belly breathe in.
Let that belly breathe, Camille.
I'm slowly accepting my pregnant belly.
She loves her body, doesn't she? Guys, she loves her body. Hey, so can you take your camera and just point it this way so people can see?
Yeah, I keep
and
moving
just so
then.
you guys can kind of see. And we'll show you different examples of this every set. Okay, so this one, 10 reps with a 3 count in the negative. That's coming back up. She's going to go nice and slow. Okay, and this is really good tension for her too. This is not easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. And she's really focusing not just on pulling with her arm, but on pressing back with her elbows, getting her chest really big as she pulls down. 9, 8, 7. Okay, that's 10. Good, so that was her 10 hard. Now I'm going to give her the lighter band resistance, and now I want to see her just go for broke here. And this is obviously like I expect Camille to be able to probably get maybe up to 30 reps here. Bring your arms all the way up so you get a full contraction. There you go. It's a lot harder when you increase the range, especially in terms of like pumping blood into your arms. 10. Nice, yeah. Oh, yeah. She's starting You're struggling now. Good job. Are you going for broke on this first set? Yeah, Camille.
I thought that we were going for broke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you don't have to like kill yourself the first
But
set.
you said go for broke.
It's a failure.
You said go for broke.
You're resting. Oh, you're done. That's it. That's it. Okay. And if you dismount, what you can do is, unlike Camille, don't let the thing like slingshot up, but you could either walk it or I'm here to kind of hand it from her so nobody gets
Well,
it.
it was bumpy, but you said go for broke. You
Okay.
can never say that with me.
So I'm going to do the same thing with my lat pull down, and all that's going to mean is I'm going to go with a full stack of weight. I'm going to do that for 10, then I'm going to drop it by about 30%, and then I'll get those reps to failure. Here we go, man.
My back's already bumpy.
You're already pumpy?
Yeah.
Well, this shit
Bumpy
works.
already? Bumpy?
What?
Somewhere in there. 7, 2.
Good. Drop the weight down. And now, just going to rep out, smooth reps here.
Nice. So a little trick at home here, when Dave finishes a rep, he gives just a slight lean back with his upper back. And that really helps him go get even more of his back muscle in this movement. Also, his elbow are coming back and down. So he's not just thinking about breaking at the elbow with the slice up, but he's thinking about bringing his elbow back and down.
Set 1. All right. Done.
Doing this again?
Yeah, we're doing it 4 times.
Oh,
Yeah, see?
but you didn't
That's
say
like
that.
Camille, she went for broke on the first set, and I thought, rookie mistake.
But you didn't say for a second, you said go for broke, and I just listened.
A good coach is also a good liar.
Is that what you say? Is that how you justify yourself?
Well, Alan lies to me all the time. He goes 5, 6, 7, 10.
I think Alan doesn't know how to count sometimes.
All right. Ready?
Yes. You said go for broke. And
So,
I
if you're working with a partner, obviously it takes them about a minute to get it work done. So you might think, let them go, take about 30 seconds rest, and then you can get back on there. We're going to go 4 rounds to do this. 10 heavy, could be pull-ups, could be pull-downs with a 3 count in the negative. Switch it out, go to a lighter weight, and rep to failure.
7.
Got it, got it. Whoa. And here's the, grab it not so wide. There you go. And if it's not enough band tension, what you can always do is sometimes you can double band, so you can put 2 bands on there, or if you take 1 band and instead of just looping it once, you can loop it through both ends so you get double tension, or just go slower. More time under tension is more challenging. So what I'm going to do this next set for my heavy set is I'm going to actually add a band on top of the weighted resistance. Done? Gotcha. Woo! How was that one?
Good.
Good.
You did a lot less rep on that.
Yeah, see, you're gaining it. She's gaining it.
Well, I did a lot of the first set.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like,
That
with
was
4
hard.
sets, and we're not taking like a tremendous amount of rest time here. You don't really need to like. I think maybe the last 2 sets you'd be really super duper challenging. These first couple sets, just get it good so you're getting close to failure. So here I am here. Make sure this band is on it. I got the full stack. You can't triple stack and double stack. Okay. Good 10. Good hard 10.
Here we go. So 10 reps with 3-second negative. So negative here is on the way up because we're resisting the load. Resisting gravity.
Okay, now the band's coming off. Everything's falling.
Everything's falling.
And now, smooth reps to failure.
Sorry. I feel like the cage is gonna fall.
Oh, owies.
My turn.
Cammie's turn. That hurt.
I don't like waiting.
That was it too. So now I'm gonna hook up her lighter band. She's on set 3. She's using a band resistance for the pull downs. Let her get in there. That pumped out my arms quite a bit. And a little towel here. Woo! So this is upper lat work. This is great for developing back width. Just having like a really wide look or a V taper from the shoulder to the hip. It also helps actually, the front side of the body really helps expand your chest to have nice wide lats. So great exercise. And you notice, like, unlike some of the things you might be doing at CrossFit, this is just super strict because the target is muscle building. It's a muscle hypertrophy.
David.
Yeah. Gotcha. Here we go. She's going to the lighter band now. And she's going to rep 30 reps to failure.
Okay.
So she's going to count. She's going to make sure she doesn't cheat. And we're all going to count for her. And everyone's watching. I'm joking.
No, you're not.
Yeah, and like the work should be really intentional. So even as you're pulling, you should be thinking about creating a good mind-muscle connection with your lat, where you're not just trying to pull the thing with your arms, but you're actually thinking about your lat working. And what that means is that you can envision your elbows pushing back, pushing down, and the chest expanding at the top or the bottom of each rep. A lot of people get used to just pulling with their arms. They never even get to train the lats.
Okay.
Okay.
Now.
That was good?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
It's my turn again?
It's your turn again.
That was set number 3, right?
That was set number 3.
Oh, yeah, we
That's
are
right.
cooking through this.
One more set after.
One more set after, Camille. Okay, so I hook up my band here. This is going to be, I guess you could call it painful. Let's go. Here we go, Dave. Good hard 10 with a 3 count down, a 3 count back up.
All right, so this is set 3, and then we're gonna do one more set. I need to pee.
Okay, drop the band now, so take the tension off. Camille is peeing. I can cheat all my reps and she wouldn't even know. I can do whatever I want. I'm just gonna rep for failure here. So just nice and smooth on these, try not to jerk the weight, but just nice and smooth reps. Owies!
One more.
Ow! Okay, Camille wants to go.
You're getting so sweaty.
I'm getting so jacked and sweaty. That's what Cam said. She forgot jacked. She said sweaty, but she meant jacked and sweaty. Oh, upper lat work.
You're getting
10.
sweaty and dramatic.
10 heavy with a 3 count in the negative. Immediately into reps, pretty close to failure. You do this with the pull-up, body weight and the band assisted. You do it with a pull-up, band assisted into jumping. You You do it like Cammie's doing with the pull down, heavy band into lighter band. And we also showed you variations on manual resistance, where you can resist your partner and then give them basically less resistance. Here she is.
Yeah.
Good. She comes out. Oh, she doesn't like this delay.
A lot of rest.
Because you're getting more rest, Cam, I think you should do more reps.
Yeah.
So let's get you to 40 on this one.
We'll see.
And hey, when you're finishing the pull, big chest.
I try.
I know. Stick those sweet looking boobs out.
Yeah, they're big.
They're super awesome. Those boobs look awesome right now. People must be so jealous.
No one can see them.
I can see them.
I don't like them.
I'm a looking and I'm a liking. Good, yeah. You can imagine, like, you could, if you have the bands with the handles, you could just stick them in like a door jam or something. You do the pullover variation we showed you here. Nice, yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. Pump it harder. Yes. I love her face. You guys can see her
I
face.
did 41.
41. So you're 41. Okay. All right. So this is my last set. So
I make weird faces. It looks like I'm happy, but I'm struggling.
yeah, you're having this.
My eyes are closed and I smile.
Well, you know, training is fun. It's painful sometimes, but it's also a ton of fun.
I like it.
I know Camille and I love it. I mean, we really
love it.
really love it. And our favorite thing is just sharing it with other people. Okay, here we go.
And picking at each other.
And picking at each other.
But not too much, because sometimes it hurts our feelings.
And also sex is awesome too.
Yeah, we like that
I like
too.
sex.
You definitely like sex. No doubt about that. I mean, that baby didn't happen by itself.
Oh, yes. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Taking that band off. Okay. Couple breaths to collect myself. And smooth reps of failure. Here we go. Nice
Here
and
it
smooth.
goes. That's a lot of breath. Let's go.
Oh! Ow, it stings, Cammy, it stings. Ow. Good, okay. Yay. Take a breath, relax for a second. Maybe cry. Cammy's not crying. Okay, so the next complex we're gonna do, I'll kind of talk to you while you're resting, is gonna be a complex for the lower lat, the lower back, and also a little of the hip and the hamstring. So the complex is gonna work like this. You guys are gonna perform 5 stiff leg RDLs. So with the RDL, kind of similar to what we did in the
I know what
snatch,
we're doing.
we're gonna come down and you're just gonna have your knee slightly bent, but the movement's gonna come mostly from the hip. And as you pull, I want you to try to pull your shoulders back every rep to really recruit your lats. So you're gonna go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're gonna hinge down to about 45 degrees and you're gonna perform 5 bent over rows. 1, look how my elbows are tracking. 2, see how they're nice and low? 3, my shoulders are down. They're not up here, but they're right here for 5. Then I'm gonna go to 4 RDLs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bent over rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. That's one giant set, okay? So you can do this with dumbbells. Obviously, you don't need crazy heavy dumbbells to do this. It's 30 total reps of RDLs and bent over rows combined. So I recommend maybe start with a moderate weight. Camille will probably start with something light, like 20s for her first set. And then you can build up as you go. Prioritize keeping your back in a good position. And prioritize those pulls. So like I was saying with the pull, you can visualize, just like we were talking about the lat pull down, not just pulling with the arm, but trying to push the elbows back. It's like push my elbows back, I get deep into my lat. You can even throw a little English on there with your legs to get a good contraction in your lat.
Think about bringing the weight in your pocket.
Yeah. All right, Cam, so why don't you do the first set?
I do the first set.
You do the first set. Cam goes for set number 1.
Add
I'm
some
going to up here.
to it.
There's a lot of hinging at the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now she goes to 4. 1, 2,
3.
1, 2, 3. I think right around 3 is where it kind of starts getting hard.
Yeah.
3. 1, 2, 2, 1, and 11.
Oh wait, that was so confusing. Okay,
No,
okay,
you
got
got
it.
That was it. You got it all right.
Yeah,
Cool. So she went set number 1.
the 1 and 1 was confusing.
I'm going to start a little heavier than Camille because I'm like 100 pounds heavier than she is. So obviously we don't need to be doing the same weight. Now, if you didn't have heavy enough weight here,
So how many sets are we doing this?
let's see. Let's start our time. I think about 3 sets, and then we'll finish with some single arm rows. So yeah, we're perfect on time. I want to try to get through this by 10:55, and then we could just finish with some single
Some
arm rows.
question.
Yeah, some Q&As. So if you didn't have heavy enough bells, right, you could, 1, increase the rep range. So you can go 10 down to 1, right? Same thing. Or if you had some bands, you could hook a band up to the bells underneath your feet and get added band resistance. So there's 2 different ways you can kind of get the intensity out of this. I'm going to strap in so that I'm not limited by my grip strength. So I'm really just focusing on trying to stay on my lat the whole movement. Right on it. And I'll probably build up through these sets as I go. All right. Here we go. Let's show you guys a good view here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here comes the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Back to the RDL.
Yeah, I don't
1,
look at how Dave
2,
opened his chest in
3,
the row and at the top of the
4,
deadlift. So you can really see the chest is
2,
opening.
3, 4. Back to the RDL. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah. All right. 1 set
Oh
done.
my god. You are.
Am I sweaty?
Oh my god, it's
I can't tell if I'm sweating, honestly. Like, I can't actually tell.
so gross.
Okay. How do you feel with those? You want to stick with those? Or you want to go?
I think I might want to try the 35.
Cool. So Cam's gonna be right now.
Okay with you?
I recommend anywhere between 90 seconds and 2 minutes, depending on how much exertion. So if it's like I was, my breath is pretty taken away by that one. I might take closer to 2 minutes. But if you're like Camille, like that first set was easy, you might go to 90-second rest period.
That was 90 seconds, I'm assuming.
Yeah, pretty close. Whenever you're ready, take a couple breaths, collect yourself.
I don't like resting.
Also, I like this before the set, when I say collect yourself physically, but also mentally, like put a focal point and what you're focusing on in these reps. That's a little heavier. Oh, nice, Cam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. This looks amazing. Here you go. I'm very impressed by Camille's technique, but mostly I'm impressed by her amazing looking boobs. Don't laugh. Here we go. Nice. Good, Cam. Awesome. Oh, you guys must be so jealous because I was getting such a great view over here.
That's why I don't face you guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's so sneaky. She's so sneaky with who she lets see her in certain ways.
Yes.
All right, so same thing. I'm gonna go up and wait. The funny thing is, like, I'm not even sweating right now. Like, I don't feel tired. Just kidding.
Dave is like a freaking waterfall.
Sweating is my love language.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Okay, so got the heavier dogs. These are
Good.
I call these are my small big dogs. These aren't my big dogs, but these are my smaller big dogs. These are like one day these dogs will grow up to be big dogs.
Will they?
One day these dogs will be strong dogs. I'm not sweating at all. All right.
There's some junky food while you have.
It's okay. I'm
to
gonna strap up.
All right, strap it on.
Strap it on. A little back check, get a crack out of there to make sure everything feels good. I always like to do an assess before the set, just kind of feel your back if you are in that back pain classification.
Okay, David, I know what you're doing.
I'm getting huge. That's what I'm doing.
Dave right now is talking extra because he want to give himself a little extra rest.
I'm not getting extra rest.
Yes, you are.
I like to kind of focus. So this one, my focus is going to be feeling my lat work and trying to push my elbows back when I row.
Okay.
It's going to be my focus.
Come on.
Head rate.
Here we go. Arc your back, elbow back. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here we go. 3.
1, 2, 3. 1,
Come on, elbow back.
3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. 1.
Nice.
Woo!
Good job.
I got hard.
There we go. Okay, my turn.
Neglect myself. Oh, very hard. Breathe a little. I got hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got hard.
That got hurt.
I got hard.
Are you sure? Was it easy?
I would say hard,
But it got even
but
harder.
it got hard.
Yeah. Was it whatever hard it was for
Whatever
you?
hard it was for
more
you, it was so harder
For you.
for me.
Yes.
Do you want to angle towards the camera on this one?
No.
Oh, why? Why don't you want to angle towards the camera?
Because I have my big boobies.
Because she doesn't want you to see her babos, her bongos.
I'm saving my boobies for my husband. I can't believe you want
I
to.
am genuinely impressed with your body.
Well, good, because I'm not super comfortable in it.
Imagine if there was a program that would grow girls' boobs. Like, you know how guys want bigger arms, bigger upper body. If there was like a grow your boobs
Well, the
program.
problem with Grow Your Boobs program is everything's going to grow with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes the boobs don't grow that much. All right. Go 35 at this little
Yeah, there's
chip
a little,
on it.
a little metal nub. That's not fun.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Nice and smooth. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
Okay. I got it annoying. Come on now. Wow. Good job. Hard?
Yeah, we're
Good.
done.
Okay, so I'm gonna bump it and wait for this last one. So this last it'll be real.
That was the last thing we do after?
Then we'll just hit some single arm rows, which we will
Okay.
maybe get 2 good sets in, maybe even something like a giant set to make it hurt. And then we can do a Q&A and talk about the training today, or
Whatever
help people out with whatever they're dealing with equipment or training right now.
Yeah, if you guys have questions that you want to ask us, you can start writing them down. We're going to do a little Q&A after this.
And cue the eye. Cue the eye.
Do that.
Cue the eye. Oh, I mean, just getting the bells situated in the ready position is hard enough. Okay.
Your life is hard, huh?
It is pretty hard. It is pretty hard. I mean, these weights are heavy. Very impressed, you know. I mean, Camille there, what is that, like 70 pounds?
Yeah.
That's about half of your body weight.
Yeah.
You know?
Right now, yes.
Yeah. And, well, that's not half of my body weight. It's still pretty heavy, relatively speaking. Okay. Here we go. Last one, best one. Keep it tight, keep it clean. Check it back. Stretch it out a little, make sure it feels good. Now, strap in. Belt tight first.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Come on. Go back. Nice. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Dave. Last one. Nice.
Oh, hard.
Done. Good.
Done. Yay. Okay. So now
I don't know why your Instagram ends sometimes.
it ends in about an hour. It's like,
Really?
yeah, we can start another one.
Mine just keeps going.
Okay. So,
All right.
we're back.
What's next?
All right, we're going to end with 2 sets. The 2 sets are going to be 2 sets of 15 each arm of a single arm row. So Cam will show you here on the bench. Please catch my breath. Get out of the way. Okay. fluids. A lot of fluids on the bench here now. Wipe that off, Camille, will ya?
Yeah.
And
I have to wipe it every time anyway.
yeah. So if you have a bench, you can prop one knee up on the bench and support with your hand out in front and get a bent over row. So I'll talk to you a little bit about the mechanics here. So some things that you want to think about. First, Cammy's just going to get situated. Belle's obviously going to go on the outside arm. Knees up. Now, I want her to kick that leg out farther. Toward, there you go, right there. So she's got a good wide base. Belle's going to come right in her center line of her body. So right down the middle. Cool. And then from here, with her back nice and flat, so arch your back a little, she's going to row. And just like all of our stuff, her focal point is keeping her shoulder down and pushing back with her elbow. She can even get a little rotation with her torso to make sure she's getting deep into the lat and not as much into the bicep. Thanks, Cam. So she's going to hit 15 here. Good. And then she can switch sides or switch arms. This is just a finisher. So try to have this be something that's like more focused movement for you. You're really kind of just concentrating on how you're doing the movement and putting a focal point on just training the lat properly, not just pulling on the weight, but feeling your lat work. Nice, Cam. That was one set.
I think I'll just do one set.
Okay, you okay? You getting tired?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like on the belly.
On your belly and back?
Yeah, on my belly.
Okay, that's fine. So Cam's gonna chill out. You know,
Because it's a lot on the.
it's a lot of bracing the middle of your body because you're not evenly loaded. Obviously, just one side is loaded, so it's also a pretty good core trainer.
I can do it.
You go with lighter weight too
Yeah,
if you want.
I'll do it.
And
I'll
you
just
know,
get
even if
today.
you're doing this, even with a band, this is a really good movement. Don't get hung up on the specifics. The magic is in the movement. There's lots of different ways to emulate the movement. One thing I try to watch out for is slipping during this one because the bench can sometimes get slippery, especially if you're sweating like I am. So I'm going to try to dry my legs and hands off so nothing slips around because I'm not evenly loaded on this thing.
Okay, let's go.
All right, here we go. Set number one.
You can call me Surgeon Camille.
Sergeant Camille. Sergeant Camille. What's sergeant in French? Sergeant.
I don't know. I don't remember. Commandant? It's Commandant.
2, 3, 4, 5. Owies. That one hurts.
Abby's.
Well, I'm not going to move the belt to the other side because that would be a whole fucking thing.
Also, then there's tissue.
So you can see my butt.
Good, then your tissue. That's my favorite
Little
tissue.
breaths.
So 2 by 15, 1 arm row, and then we're going to answer some questions. We'll be done for today. Nine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Owies. Oh, so those are my big dogs. They're not my top dogs, but they're my big dogs' weight. I go little dogs, big dogs, top dogs. You gotta name your weights, people. If you're not having fun, why are you doing this? Oh, yeah? All right, one more set. We're doing good. pretty impressive. We're getting a really comprehensive workout session in between Camille's conditioning and a pretty damn good hypertrophy back workout. So well done. Let's get it. Come on. Stop lollygagging.
I can handle you.
This ain't your mama's workout.
But it could be.
It could be.
And it
We
would be
actually
fine.
have quite a bit of moms that do workouts.
Yeah. Moms are tough.
Moms are tough.
I don't know why, for some reason, people,
You know you're up.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, you're not gonna do the 20s?
No.
Okay.
It was a,
All right,
it, was
Allison.
a, it was a lot.
I was really hoping that I could get a longer rest period. I'm so disappointed. Oh man, this means I'm gonna have to get so big now.
Me too.
It's good.
I'm working on my week to get big.
This week I registered myself for our Thunderbro 30-day shred, so I'm getting peeled out.
Okay.
Here we go.
Do your work. That's enough of them. You know what?
Cameron doesn't like it when I promote.
No,
Not
I don't
promoting
mind,
it.
but it's not that.
Just excited. I'm excited about what I'm doing. I don't know if this was. No, this is old. This is old. Oh, that was a bad idea to take a sip of that. That was amino acids that's been left out for a day in 100-degree heat. That was such a
Where's
terrible.
yours?
That was such a terrible idea to take a sip of that. I'm definitely gonna have diarrhea. It all looks the same.
But that's because you leave your stuff all over the place.
Oh,
so
here we go with the blaming.
that's your consequence.
Here we go, blaming the good guy.
Come on.
One, two,
Boy.
3, 4. Yay! Lift your arms.
Switching arms.
Last one, best one. Come on now, Lipson.
That's one. Come on now, Lipson.
Oh, don't drink the old amino acids. That was a terrible mistake.
Good.
Ooh. I can only hope that my gut biome can handle that.
Yeah, me too, because I live with you.
Yeah, you do. And you know how bad my farts are.
Yes, your parts are really bad.
So bad.
It's like that.
8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yay!
Yay! Good job. All right,
Done.
let's sit down in front of the bench.
All right, then
We'll answer your Q&A.
we already have a couple of questions on mine.
Good.
I'll do the bench.
Is it this one?
I don't know which one it's.
Yeah, this is colder. It's got to be this one. I think I found it. Maybe it'll cancel out the bad stuff I drank.
I don't think so. I think it's too late. All right, little Q&A.
Good job, guys.
Okay, I know I have a couple of questions already here. So let's see.
Okay, Q&A. If you guys have questions, type them in.
Oh,
See,
this is a good one.
You got boxes on the
All right.
right-hand side of your
Tanya
screen.
is asking, what are your thoughts on muscle memory, loss ton of mass and strain while being pregnant? So that's a super good question because I just got shoulder surgery 2 years ago about, you know, one of the big thing I did, I feel like my belly.
So good.
Yeah, so one of the big thing I did during my shoulder surgeries, I did a lot of visualization. Oops, connection. Okay.
Yeah, I would do that too. Like when I
So
would visualize asking Camille out. I'd be like, I'm gonna ask her out, and she's gonna say yes.
So I did a lot of visualization. With all the movement, I couldn't do anymore. And I mean, I obviously, darn it, connection, please.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and I obviously like lost a lot of strength. But for the muscle memory, doing like just closing your eyes and keep doing the movement, it'll help the connection with your brain and your muscle really stay pretty intact. So when you start to relearn the movement, you should. Oh gosh, this is annoying. So when you relearn the movement, it should really come back super easy and fast. So that's what I would do. I would.
You want to try to put it in the middle here, Cam?
I don't know.
I'll try changing the
Just kidding.
position. Sorry, guys. She's getting frustrated with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Try it right here. Yeah, this might work better. The camera's like directly on
Yes.
me.
Okay.
It usually works better when it's
All
directly
right.
on me.
So muscle, David,
Come closer
can
to the
you
screen.
just?
Come closer to the
No,
screen.
you're gross.
No, I'll move over. Here, you just move closer to me. Boom, there she is.
Okay, so muscle memory. Watch a video of you doing a movement. Close your eyes. Do it 1,000,000 times in your head. And if you can't do that movement, like that's really gonna help you keep the technique. Your brain is gonna still do it, and the connection between your brain is still going to happen. So that's what I did when I got my shoulder surgery. And funny enough, the first day I did rope climb again, my technique was better.
Yeah.
It really was better than before the shoulder surgery, just because I did so many in my head with like really the right technique, and that connection between your brain and muscle is still happening. So if you're home and you're like, oh my God, I can't do snatch, heavy snatch for a long time, or muscle up or things like that, just watch a video of you or someone even better than you. And the more you can visualize the sand, the feeling of the chalk on your hand, just like as many feeling as you can involve in this type of visualization / meditation, the better and the more effect this is going to have. So
Yeah,
that's a really good question.
I agree. It was the same thing.
Underutilized.
I did that a lot when I was pitching. I had arm surgery, and I'll visualize pitching. If you guys, Instagram crew, ask a question below, type in a question, we'll answer it. But, Cammie's totally right. There's some really cool, there's actually a story I heard about a Vietnam prisoner of war, a POW, who spent years and years as a prisoner in visualizing a perfect round of golf. And when he got out, he was this amazing golfer, just visualizing. That's a crazy story. Okay, so let's go to more questions. Cammie ran out to the bathroom, but I'll answer some stuff, and I'll pick one, see what one sounds interesting. No, that's not what I want. Questions. Lots of questions. That was the same one. What are your thoughts on muscle memory? Do you drink alcohol? I don't. Camille doesn't either because she's pregnant.
Can you move over?
But we have, like probably 2 occasions a year.
Max.
Sometimes for like my birthday, I drank.
Yeah, you
we
did.
drank for New Year's. But it, I just think we don't have room for it in our life. Like we're so filled up with everything having more of like a purpose for the things that we really want and value that it just doesn't have. I feel like it takes away more than it gives us.
I mean, people like doing it, and it's fine. And we don't judge. We don't care. I just don't like the feeling of being tipsy, I guess. And
there are times that I'd like to be drunk, for sure. There are times.
I don't know. I mean, it's very, very rare. But I just don't like how hard I train, and then if I do it one day, then I have 2 weeks to catch up. So to me, it's not worth it. Also, doesn't help with your production of testosterone. So if you're trying to get strong, it's not the best thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, obviously, I don't do anything because I'm pregnant.
and moderation too. Like, our friend Margot Alvarez has this wine company, and she drinks wine, but everything's in moderation. So I think there's a context in there. It really depends on what your goals are. And, for us, I think we're both so driven to try to meet our goals and be our best that we kind of push it out more than bring it in. But I could totally see it having, good social value. Or some people just need to drink.
we do edible.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that's
like
something we do. We do a lot of marijuana.
We're not, yeah.
Yeah.
Not now for me.
Yeah.
For Dave.
Well, it's not legal
but
here in Florida, but yeah, I'm missing it a lot. Okay.
What is that?
Best squat position to build muscle faster.
Well,
So they might be talking about like a high bar squat versus a low bar squat versus a front squat. And typically people, their anatomy is usually sometimes a little bit imbalanced towards one of those variations, the other.
Yeah.
So, sometimes people that don't really have great developed hamstrings and glutes tend to like a high bar squat or a front squat better.
Where the
because they use the
torso
quads
is much upright.
Yeah, and likewise,
Or-
some people with like really dominant hips don't like being super upright because they don't feel as strong. And I would recommend probably doing all of them, but maybe focusing on the variation that challenges you the most, because that's probably addressing some kind of restriction or asymmetry or imbalance.
Okay. I'm not going to answer anything, I guess.
Okay, here we go. This is one you got to answer. Sex chat. Open in browser. What's the question there? I want to answer that question, Camille. She's picking a good one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got one.
No, that's a good one.
It's
I got
my
one.
turn. Somebody asked me.
Oh, David, we're gonna stop doing this if you make it. Okay, so here's the question.
No, you can go.
Okay, have you both dealing with stress, especially during this time? That's a good question.
Okay, the question is.
I think.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one.
I mean, keep
We'll
controlling what you can, which has been a big deal. And also, I mean, for us, it was really hard at first, but I feel like we're finally finding our groove. But we really try to separate tasks in the house and really take care of more things that normally we would be more consumed, like with, training or work. Like I've been like cooking a lot, which makes me like really happy. Just more walk with the dogs, just more time with each other, doing things that are not stressful, obviously, but also filling the other time with work and project that we've been wanting to work on. So I'm writing a book right now. You're pretty much launching a program soon. We're keeping yourself busy and trying to not overdo it. And sometimes it's still hard.
Yeah, I feel like we've been through all the steps of grief already.
Yeah.
Like denial, this isn't happening, bargaining, well, I'll go outside, but I'll wear gloves and a mask, and eventually that leads to acceptance, and it's okay. Like you got to go through that process to basically get there. I think we're basically at the point now where we've accepted the situation, we've accepted the fact that this might last a really long time, and I think we've set ourselves up to be okay with it. One of the hard things for us would be not taking the steps to potentially have to deal with this if it lasts for a year and a half or something. So, we've set ourselves up in a safe place where we can stay for a long time. We bought a 16 cubic foot freezer. We have a gym. It can work. And if it continues like this, obviously that's not ideal. We don't want that. We're also prepared for it. So, hoping for the best, but prepared for the worst.
And having a schedule.
Yeah, it really helps.
Having a schedule has been really good for us. Like doing those 10 a.m., like workouts every morning. Like if you feel pinned to your bed, like just knowing that you have this to come to, it's been really good.
Okay, here's.
All right, here's
a good one for you, Cam.
Oh, okay.
I had a shoulder operation, labrum tear. It feels weak. Any tips with mobility? So I don't know if weakness and mobility are kind of different things. They're kind of related, but Cammie's got a lot of experience with that, so I wanted to give her a chance to answer.
Okay. Yeah, I think one of the big things when I came back from my shoulder surgery is obviously it felt weak. I was terrified to pick up a bag from the floor with my arm, but the mobility was not the issue as much as I thought. So at first I was like, I can't lift my shoulder all the way. I can't do all those things. How can I regain all that mobility? But it was like all those little tiny muscles that weren't firing right, or a lot of scar tissue built up. So what really helped me, and I mean, you can go check it out. I put my whole rehab program in it, but just a lot of small things like hold overhead and just a lot of hold, the different type of hold and different type of movement to really fired up all the muscle around the shoulder. And as those muscles got all stronger, that really helped my arm get into a full position. And I obviously regained all my full strength, full mobility and everything. But I think focusing just on the mobility when you're doing a recovery, I think is a huge mistake. And I know because that's where I started and I was getting very frustrated that it wasn't moving forward.
When most people think about mobility, they probably think about stretching, right? Or things that are passive, like somebody moving your arm for you or mashing a shoulder joint. But Cammie's rehab was much more progressive, where she was working on an active range of motion, where she's actually moving weight or moving herself, firing up muscles, and some of the things that have really helped both of us, because we both have fucked up shoulders. I've got a torn bicep tendon and a torn rotator cuff, but being on top of this stuff and doing kind of continued prehab is really important. Things like bamboo bar presses, like high rep bamboo bar presses. We'll do complexes where we'll do just 100 light reps for time in like 3 large sets. Banded pull aparts, tons and tons of external rotation.
External rotation.
But it's all hypertrophy work, right? You're building up, you're using your muscle, you're not just stretching something passively. There is a place for passive stretching, but probably the majority of the rehab should be actively regaining the strength and range of those muscles.
You can see a lot of people being very, very flexible, where like they do a lot of stretching, and next thing you know, when the first time you see them, for example, do a squat, it's like everything is so bendy and all over the place. So you really need to also understand that activation component. Because you may be super stretchy, but it doesn't mean that you can hold the weight in that position or even like engage like all the little muscle properly. So
it's kind of like
both together.
3-pillar deal. It's like there's mobility, there's stability, and then there's strength.
Yes.
And they all are dependent on each other,
All right. This is it. For us today on My Life Thing. So I will see you guys Friday at 10 a.m.
That's arm day, right? We're doing arm day Friday.
Are we?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. See you Friday.
Good job, guys. We crushed it.